Asked me to just go through some muscle testing with everyone, just to give them a little bit of experience. Do we have anyone here who has never done muscle testing? Okay. You've probably heard something about it?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm here because I want to learn how to do it.
Okay. It's real easy to learn how to do some basic things with it.
Good.
Some people even try to learn how to do it on themselves. It's not so easy to do it on yourself, but with experience, there are some techniques that work. We'll see the main thing is, earlier there was some discussion around somebody having a health issue. Mm-hmm. You weren't here for that. And the health issue, one of the things that came around to the health issue was maybe they had issues with their diet. And other people had suggested, even though they had some serious problems, and even though they had therapies and all of that to get healthier, maybe it has something to do with their thinking processes that causes them to have some problems. And our thoughts can either strengthen us or weaken us. We can have positive, affirming thoughts that help us, and we can have negative ones, or just ones that don't serve us. Well, I don't know exactly where the saying comes from, but there is a saying, something that goes something like, the truth will set you free. But also, when we stand in truth, we stand in strength. And that is sort of how it shows up with muscle testing, is when we're standing in truth, we're strong. And when we are not standing in truth, our body shows that we're not standing in truth real easily. People can have a sense of confusion in their nervous system. They call it, what do they call it? There's a phrase for it. I'll think of it. Anyway, it's where our nervous system is not functioning correctly, sort of out of balance somehow, and so it's confused. And a number of things can do that. For instance, diet could do it. Stress can do it. One of the things with stress is our adrenal glands deal with stress. And it turns out we all live in a stressful world, and we're sort of inundated with stress all the time. We have all different kinds of coping mechanisms. But stress can happen to us immediately, and we can immediately become overwhelmed by it. And when we do that, our body is neurologically imbalanced. And so part of the muscle testing will be just to determine, the whole key with muscle testing generally is to find a strong muscle. And with the kind of muscle testing we're going to be doing here, there can be some asking a question and try to determine, is this, would the answer be yes, or would the answer be no? And so when it comes to the stress, if we are stressed, our body won't necessarily answer correctly. So there are some techniques to temporarily sort of rebalance the system, and so that you can get a better answer, but it won't last. It just works for a little bit. So would somebody like to demonstrate muscle testing?
Oh.
I need a volunteer.
I'll be a volunteer.
Okay.
For sure. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I don't work. So what do I do?
Your name's Sharon?
Shannon.
Shannon, okay.
Lady from Center for Special Living for Life.
Right, yeah. So one of the things also with muscle testing is there's a person being tested and the person doing the testing. It's best if you don't look face eye to eye while you're doing the testing, because everything is energy.
Okay,
and,
right.
And
okay.
There's all kinds of emotional components to all different kinds of things as well.
Right.
And so if I'm looking at you
Can I look at you now, or do you
yeah,
want
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not looking at you, okay.
No, I'm testing you.
I'm trying to pay attention to what you're saying.
I don't want to influence your results.
Okay, gotcha.
And
okay.
who knows how it might happen, but it can.
Right.
So just to do normal testing, you just stand normal. And is this arm okay? Is this a strong arm? Is it okay? And first thing I would do would be to ask, is it okay to muscle test you?
Sure.
Okay. You put your arm straight out. And first we want to find a strong muscle.
Okay.
A little bit lower. And we don't test right on a joint.
Okay.
We test distally, which means near the end of the extremity.
Okay.
And we want to hold just a steady pressure.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say, hold your arm strong, hold strong. That looks pretty strong. And then one of the ways we do to find out if you're testing correctly is we would put a finger here and then hold strong. And see, there was a little bit of weakness.
Weakness,
It
I
wasn't
feel
real
that.
noticeable. It
I
wasn't
felt
real.
that even.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's an important thing, is to get to where you feel it.
Okay.
It's not so important that I feel it, it's
Mhm.
important that
Yeah,
you do.
I realize that.
And that's one of the reasons we're here today, is not so much that you can be muscle tested, but that you can get the feeling of what it feels like when you're testing strong or that you're testing weak.
Okay.
Because we don't want to just
So
learn
what was this about?
well, that's like stress.
Yeah.
It's like it interrupts your normal nervous system.
Okay.
There's a number of other things that can do that. For instance, hold your arm out, hold strong. Okay, now hold strong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see
Make
that?
it weaker.
See, just that jerk
Yeah.
provides a stress into your system. Your body didn't know what the heck's going on,
Wow.
and it interferes with you.
Yeah.
And then your body's just overwhelmed a little bit.
Okay.
But it only lasts a minute.
Yeah.
So hold strong again. Okay, here's another one. Hold strong. See?
Yeah, I just went for it.
And that's one of the things I wanted to show in this thing. Here's the way Gary has shown us to do this, is just to touch here. But there's also part of that, I'm not really certain, but just holding my hands in front of her eyes might interfere with her normal input and might cause her to go weak. But I do know that holding your hand over someone's ear while you muscle test them will do it. And that's an indication you're testing correctly, actually. And that's one of the things we want to determine, is that you are testing.
You put your hand over her ears?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
This year?
Because you
Exact-
should normally be strong.
Okay.
Yep.
How did, just like this?
And
I
just
didn't
hold your
see.
hand over the
Okay.
ear, yeah.
Like you do, or I hold it over my own ear?
Like I do.
Okay.
yeah. It might work if you did, but more likely if I do.
Okay.
All right, so the way we do it here, though, is we want to find that when you say your name, you're strong. So say your whole name. Say, I am.
I am.
And
My
then
full name?
Yes.
Beth Shannon Adiman.
That's strong. Okay, good. Now say, my name is John.
My name is John.
Okay.
Okay, I get that.
Were you trying real hard to hold it up?
Yeah?
And did I push any harder?
No?
Okay, well, that's what we want to see.
Okay.
So, say your name is Susan.
My name is Susan.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, in muscle testing, actually, there are some people who, when they get really good at it, they can do what they call surrogate testing. And that's where, for instance, you may have a loved one or a child who is here or isn't here. Maybe it's a child who's 2 years old and they can't hold muscle
Right.
tests up.
Right.
But you can hold them in your compassion, your bonding with
Right.
them. You can actually become a sort of neutral channel to show results for how their condition is.
Okay.
But we're not getting into that, it's just sort of by the way.
Mhm.
So really what we wanted to do here today was just give everybody a chance to do muscle testing where you get the feeling of when it's strong, when you are strong and when you're weak. Because really what Gary's doing, teaching in our class, energy balancing, and he's doing this thing where we're connecting in our mind, our heart, and our spirit through the universe, in fact, creating this energy flow through us. The whole purpose of that is that we become a clear channel, and that we learn to be receptive to our own inner guidance. And part of that is through muscle testing. If we get enough experience with muscle testing, we can learn what our yes and no's feel like, what our strength and our imbalance feels like. We can learn to distinguish it just by asking a question without actually doing it.
So we asked a question because I know I've had friends where they were literally holding like a vitamin or something in their
Right.
hand and testing to see if that's a vitamin they should be taking or not. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can ask a question, or it can be a physical. Like, if I'm trying to figure out my diet right now and I hold a vegetable, can I literally hold a piece of food in my hand and do muscle testing to know if I should be eating that food right now?
Yeah, and it works even better if you could actually put it in your mouth.
Okay, so I put whatever that food is in my mouth for a moment, and then I have my husband
Someone
will
test you.
test me.
You can.
Do I have to
go
ask a
quickly.
question, or do I say,
Well, you just want to start out from a point of strength,
okay, so he tests me, say my name.
and then
he does it.
introduce, and then
So I
introduce.
put that piece of food in my
That
mouth.
piece of food is just like a question.
Okay, so I
If
put it in there, and
say-
then he tests
Say,
me.
my name is Shannon, you're standing here, my name is Shannon, then you take a piece of something and say, my name is Shannon. But that isn't Shannon.
Right.
So it's going to result for you, it's either going to strengthen you or weaken you, or maybe do nothing.
So in other words, so if I put that food in my mouth and then he tests it, If it stays the same, then I can eat that food, but if all of a sudden I get real weak
Generally-
after I put that food in my mouth.
Generally speaking, with muscle testing, if you are strong and you stay strong.
I'm sorry, I'm being very specific because this is what I need it for. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
generally speaking, if you are strong, you want to find strength. If you are strong and you stay strong with the introduction of something,
Of a food.
that's generally a good thing.
Okay,
There's some times where you really do want to find that there's a weakness, that there's a change.
okay,
But
Okay.
with introducing a food substance, you want to be strong.
okay.
If you're
So like if I
eating-
put that food in there and then he tests it
and you
again
go
and it goes
weak,
weak, then I'm not supposed to eat that food right
That's
now.
suggesting
It's not in my best interest right
going to be a balancing force for you.
Okay.
Because it's just good energy.
Right,
So it could be a water, and that's how I first came across muscle testing, was a class I went to by a chiropractor, an introductory class, and he got this big, strong guy come up, and he said, you hold his arm up, he said, my name is John, he's strong as heck. And then he takes, okay, put this piece of sugar in your mouth. He put a little sugar cube in his mouth, says, my name is John. And he goes, oh my gosh, that hurt. He couldn't hold his arm up just with a piece of sugar. And then he had him wash his mouth out, and he picked up a peanut, I think it was, and said, put this peanut in your mouth, and he was strong again. Well, for some people, peanut's gonna make them go
yeah, weak, yeah.
It's one of the
allergic
big,
or something, right.
a lot of people have food allergies,
Right.
so that would be a bad thing for
Okay.
him. But even though he might have an allergy, if he really, really needed protein, or he really needed the peanut oil or something like that, it might make him strong.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and so some of these things can change. One day, a certain food item might make you strong, another day it might not.
Yeah, it might not. And so like, and like on a vitamin, like, whatever, pick one, you know, so do I hold it or do I put that vitamin in my mouth?
Well, the
and
best
drink
way
it?
would be if you could put it in
Okay,
your mouth.
okay.
Because
Gotcha.
your taste buds in your mouth, they have the experience of your lifetime of everything you put in it. And it
Okay.
knows instantly
Hmm.
what's coming its way.
Okay, cool.
So, anyway, here mostly we just wanted to do muscle testing, just real quickly, and actually switch from one person to another. So just do it like this, say, hold your arm up, say your name.
My name is Shane Madden.
Yeah, hold strong.
Okay.
And then do a test either here or here. And if you go weak, or if you stay strong when I do that, it's indicating your body neurologically is imbalanced. So we would either come up, just run energy up the front, just sort of like they call this aura combing, just running up the front, or go down the back.
So
Like
you're
this.
saying if we do this, we should go weak?
You should go weak. If you don't,
If I
that's
go-
indicating that your body's not
Out of whack.
testing
Okay.
normal.
Okay.
So then we would
Okay.
just either come up the front or down the back, maybe
Okay.
even both. And there's another alternative way you can do it, where there's a place right here, right under the clavicle, you can just rub right here a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then retest, and it should be strong. You should test normal after that,
Yeah,
after
yeah,
either one of
detail.
those. So then you would want to check it again, so.
Okay,
So then we'd have you say your name
My
again,
name is-
and then hold here, and then you should go weak.
okay. And then you're saying that you'd come and you could do that?
We only do that if you're not testing normal.
Okay, okay.
And testing normal would be
To
her
be strong.
being able to still keep her arm up.
No, testing normal would be if she's already tested strong to her name.
Right,
If I touch here, should go weak.
Right.
That would be normal.
okay,
Or if I put my hand over her ear,
Okay.
she should go weak. That would be
This is the
normal.
easiest one.
okay.
Okay.
And so if she doesn't do that, then we either just,
In other words, if I stayed strong when you put that dot there. then-
in acupuncture, this is our governing meridian here. Or, no, our conception meridian. Conception meridian, and down the back is our governing meridian.
Yeah, that's right.
But we also have our kidney meridians running down the back, and they're very, very strong around our spine. And their energy, their energy normal flow is this way. Energy flow normally is up the front and down the back. So to go either way is strengthening to the body. And then these points right here are the kidney 27. These are very much balancing. They have a lot to do with balancing stress. And so just like
Can you
our
do that
colon.
to yourself?
Yes, you
Like
can.
to help
Anytime-
balance your
Anytime you're
stress?
stressed out, you can rub here, it can help you.
Really?
Is that like,
Yes.
are those like the bones?
Yeah, those
It's just
bones.
right
Yeah,
under the
okay.
clavicle, a little hollow spot on each side.
Yeah,
And there's a whole lot of other points that relate
but that's a good one
to
just to
stress
start with.
that you can rub on
So you
yourself.
know that.
Yeah, but it just something as subtle as pulling on your arm overwhelms you.
Yeah, I
And
saw
that will
that.
do that pretty much with anyone.
So that shows us how sensitive we really are.
You are very
honestly.
sensitive to stress, yeah. So mostly we just want to do a test, say you're Shannon, yes, say you're, and then generally it would be, I would suggest you're you're Sharon, and you should go weak. You might test strong though. You might have a strong affinity for the name Sharon
Interesting.
somehow.
Okay.
And so we might want to just change the name if that was the case. Or you might be really bonded to someone who has that name.
Okay.
Like your child might be Sharon, and you might be so connected to that child that
It still keeps
that
you strong.
you know what's good for them.
Right.
You know?
Okay, I got you.
So, anyway, so we'll just do that, and then switch, just move on to another person. So it'd almost be good to line up, where you could just test one person and then switch and then go, and then just sort of rotate around. So we get to test everyone.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so want me to sit down?
No, everybody
Line up.
get
We're
up,
all getting up, we're lining up.
unless you have any questions.
I won't buy a lot.
Not yet.
We're getting there. So what do you want to do?
You already know each other, so why don't you mix with someone else?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the names.
We know both
I
of
don't know
them,
you.
so. I don't know you. I don't know
Yeah.
you.
So,
Okay.
okay, so I'm
Okay,
so
let me,
here.
she can, oh, there's just enough, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm supposed to make.
You have your permission to
You want to spread out just a little bit. Come on, come on.
Yeah,
come on.
come over.
There you go.
Okay. So which arm would you like? Which one is
You
best?
got on this one, which one?
I don't know. Okay, we'll go with the right, we're gonna put right in.
Say your hand.
So. Okay,
Strong, okay.
think of their name, say your name.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Seriously, it's that? I don't understand.
That doesn't actually seem
Maybe
strong.
they're
Hold
asking for
strong.
questions.
You want me to hold it strong?
Yes, yes.
Just let it go.
Always
What is
hold
your
strong.
phone?
All right, hold strong.
My name is John.
Okay,
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 hold
my
strong.
husband's name
My
is
name is
Jerry.
John.
There's a little different there. Hold
okay.
strong.
My name is John.
Okay.
Little different. Yeah, hold strong.
Okay, now we're gonna say.
Yeah, there is a subtle
My
difference.
husband's name
Could you feel the
is
difference?
Sam.
I wasn't
Yeah.
pushing any harder. In fact,
Okay.
when I was pushing strong, I was actually pushing it harder to see if I could feel the difference than when I felt the weakness.
I can feel it a little bit, but
Okay,
not
all right, let's,
generally. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Sometimes if you go weak, it like hurts. It's like, oh my gosh, that hurt.
just trying, because I've had a lot of shoulder problems.
But see, that's just the way our
Okay.
nature is.
Shannon, admin.
See, I was actually pushing harder on strong than I did on, when you did show weak when I touched here and here, but it was a subtle difference. It wasn't like real obvious difference. Like her, you touch her and it just, like you could pick her down with one hand. But,
you kind of like her.
Yeah, I do.
even though you are really strong and there's not very much variation in your strong and
Think
weak,
of one you don't like.
is that sometimes when you go to the weak, it'll actually hurt. But when you're strong, it won't hurt. But when you're weak, it's like,
My name
oh,
is
you don't know if you want to do it again, because it actually hurts.
I know, I mean, if I hold my arms up, I know my weakest arm
Yeah,
is
isn't
this
that
one.
funny? So I see what he's saying.
Well, I just went to that one because it's
I
non-dominant,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be as strong. So generally speaking, with muscle testing, you don't want to find the strongest muscle in a person's body. You want to find one that's sort of on the weaker side, because it has a smaller tail.
Okay.
It doesn't take as much
An
effort.
operation on this
Well,
shoulder,
no, I wouldn't.
would that
wanna-
change it?
I wouldn't want to do it on surgery.
See, this one's had surgery on it, that's why.
Well, it might be strong now. It's
I like
not a
carrots.
problem. But it would probably be the same on this one.
Yeah.
It's just.
It'd be strong, but still, I don't like her.
She's holding her hand and doing
My name
the
is-
center of her.
My name is John.
The center?
Right in.
Still strong?
Right in.
Yeah, she's not by the joint.
She's not going all in, maybe up at.
Right,
Yeah.
that's where I was doing. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
that's
just
really-
because there's not much, we would just go
You
up
don't
here to
have
the
to,
front,
you know,
Okay, something you want to know the
you can
truth
really
down the
make
back.
sure
What do you
that's
mean?
true, but, you know, when it
Anything on
goes, it just goes.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't know how much
Yes.
pressure,
Okay.
Yes,
You know,
that's
to
how we
put
press.
on.
You mean a
Okay.
question, like,
All right, so
explain to me what you're
my
saying.
husband loves me.
Oh, okay.
Strong.
Better.
Yeah, there's a little difference, it's not much, it's very subtle.
So I say that?
Yeah.
And
My husband loves
maybe
me.
that's just, maybe there's not
Yeah.
a lot of difference.
Yes.
And I think that,
I feel that.
I think maybe the more experience you get with
Okay,
pain
so in
testing,
other words, it can be any statement that you're just trying to get the
You-
truth on.
Uh-huh.
That it-
your body
so
won't have so much
intuitively, you're
resistance
somewhere
maybe
within
Your
to
your
body.
showing
Yeah.
weakness.
knows.
This is good to know.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I'm not 100% now. I'm
Right, you shouldn't be
If you
trying to
have
be
a
strong.
little this,
You should
I'll
be,
tell you why.
the thing is, you should be trying to be as strong
I
as
mean,
you
is that
can
that
be
where it
all
squats
the
around?
time.
I've never,
And so
I mean,
we're
I've
putting the
seen
same
it, but
effort
I've
into
never
it
really
either
seen the whole
way.
thing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say.
She's like, okay,
Do you always have to say the name out loud, or can you say?
You don't have to even say it, you can just think
Fascinating.
things, and they have the same effect.
Okay, so if you just make a statement.
If y'all get an answer, if y'all got,
Right.
which I think is fascinating, that's probably one reason.
Weaker.
So, I didn't hear you say,
Yeah.
oh, it went
That's
weaker.
really where I
Right.
am now.
So it's not serving you to maintain that.
Exactly, and that was my question.
She actually had that question.
Yes,
We just did it.
yeah, we did it. No.
Well, you could have just asked the question instead of actually saying the name.
Well, yeah, that's true too, but I was saying both names and seeing what was happening.
Yeah, I think one time we had someone who said another name like.
Exactly, she said, I'm
I
not
don't know
that person,
where that name
yeah.
came from, you know.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
They were strong.
And yeah, Gary said, well, you've done so much work and you know, that's not, like you say, in your best interest anymore.
Yeah, well, I mentioned the thing about being surrogate testing and being bonded and connected with people, because I noticed I have tested times where I was in a relationship with someone, and I would just think about them, and my body tested as if I was them.
Yeah, we tested with my daughter's name, the one who's having all the health issues, and that's, yeah, that was true too.
So did you get tested? Could you feel the difference in strongness? I didn't mention sometimes when you're weak, it actually hurts our shoulder or whatever muscle you're doing. And but that hurt isn't because you just injured it, it's just because it couldn't maintain that. It just couldn't maintain itself in that stressful moment.
We did it with names also.
But then after a minute or two, it's not hurting anymore, and it can be strong again. If you have a strength, you can be strong again.
That's good to know.
Because I can
The
say,
more
this banana is good for me.
you ask questions that are not good for us or not strengthening, the more we're actually going to suffer from the question.
But, and when we get the
If we're doing
answer,
certain
then,
joints, like I find my test, when I test weak, it sometimes it
Then I
hurts.
would stay strong.
And it makes it
I
different.
haven't had
But
that.
other muscles don't, but,
See, that's what I'm
All over the place.
so the main thing is switch to someone else.
Can I ask you a
So,
question?
And it's
Okay.
suffering.
Okay,
If we were looking for food, is this good for me?
So-
Or if you just said, I am,
Like, this banana is good for me. Or do you say, is this banana good for
I'll
me?
just let it come in and say, yeah, right.
I think a more affirmative statement is a strong.
So in other words, so
Strong.
if I say
But
this,
is-
and I'm
is
holding a
this-
banana in my hand, right?
Is this isn't quite as strong a
Right, so
statement
this
as
banana is
this
good for me,
is.
and if it's strong, then I go eat the banana.
What's wrong with
But I've
mine?
been trained that way. So, she hasn't.
because I've asked
And
you
I
questions.
mean,
I was in the health food store one time, I saw these Buddhist monks
Yeah.
from Korea or somewhere, I'm not sure where they were from, and they were just picking up vitamin jars with a little pendulum and I hold them.
Well, she was just trying to.
Well, I asked her if she'd ever done
It's so
pinball,
easy for
because
me
that's
to
where I first learned about muscle
They
testing.
would put it back and then grab another one and hold it there and put.
But you can do it with the same thing, just doing
And
this.
some people do the thing where they rock forward and back.
Yeah, I tried that some too, and I can do
I
that.
think you gotta find what works for you, and a lot of it has to do with getting experience. So,
Yeah,
it's just-
practice.
and that's one of the things we wanna do here, is give everybody a chance to test everybody. And while you're being tested, try to develop this sense, to be aware
How it
of.
feels.
How does it feel when you're in your strength, and how do you feel somewhere in your body, anywhere in your body, when you're not? So that you can determine the difference, and that can help you just sort of get your gut feeling. You know this is the right answer, you know this is not the right answer, so you don't even have to be tested.
I get it.
I get it.
That's the whole that's really the
Except I was
purposes of
close
our
to being
testing
in
here,
the
not
mouth.
just the
Circular
test.
motion,
Oh, I was
that's
betting
yes.
this, and I'm still being kind of strong.
Counter.
She's like, she goes, you must like that.
Okay, well, find a new
So she was
partner and
thinking
test.
that, okay,
All
right
right,
next door.
well, then I put another name
Yes.
Up the front, down the back.
and down the back.
You can do either one or both.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. All right, well, let's
Well,
try
I
that
think it's
again.
Joanne.
Do that. My name is Shannon. Atkins.
Don't look face to eye.
That's right, oh, see, I forget that. I forget that.
It's
So
almost
you
better
look
to
over your
stand,
shoulder
it's really
or
almost better to stand
to
to one
the
side.
side, yeah, that's what Gary
Then
told
they
me.
can just
Yeah.
look straight ahead.
No interruption? No, Mr. Gunner. I'll just,
Your name is?
yeah,
Yeah, move the chair.
yeah, that's, see, I
I
forgot.
don't tell you.
And then,
And my name is Shannon Adler.
You should be on that side
You
though.
go weak when you do that.
I should be on this
Yeah.
side? Okay.
See, oh, another thing too, we're testing a long lever. A long lever is, it
Okay.
doesn't take so much force to push down a long lever, but you're testing with a short one. So you're testing here, this is a lot of strength right here, there's not a whole lot of strength out there. So that's part of
Okay,
it.
so
So you
I
wanna,
can see in the
so you
middle.
don't wanna have your arm, if you're testing, you don't want your arm way out there like this. You wanna
Oh,
be
it's
close.
fine, I
You
thought you
wanna
were talking
get
about
close
hers.
to it like this, you don't have, it doesn't take much.
Okay, okay, that's good.
Well,
All right, here we go.
Okay. My name is Shannon Adler.
Okay, if it would have tasted strong, then you just
Okay,
be
now, I see it.
not supposed to taste strong, it's not supposed to taste strong.
My
When I
name
give
is
you
Shannon Adler.
Yeah.
Distraction.
That-
That's incredible what that, how that just
it tests when
You're so easy to mess with.
I mean, oh, you have no idea. Yeah, that's the problem.
We're
Is
stressed
that a compliment or what?
But it's not that, what you do
All right, do you,
is you swipe up.
wanna make a
this end
statement about
and
something?
down on the back end.
So she can just make a statement about something,
I'm
and
ready.
check it.
So in other words, I can hold it,
Yes.
and I can say, water's good for me or something like that, right? Is that right?
Put some in the
Well, it's my left arm for
All
one
right,
thing,
say your name.
and I was looking at you,
Water is
and I'm
good
not
for
gonna look at you. Okay.
Ready?
All right, my name is Jimmy Franklin.
How your body
Is that what you're saying?
See?
Real, yeah.
And
But
we know that's
the
my
key is
name.
here, what do you feel?
Say your name.
Yeah.
So think, you could do this likewise, think of something you think is good for
So
you.
much
Yeah,
lighter.
say it.
Think of something you think maybe not good for you,
Easy.
Yeah.
and have
Nowhere
it just
near
while
as
you
much
have
pressure.
a hold of thought.
Okay.
Okay, do it again.
I mean, just something in
Yeah, that's
general,
what
or
I
like
was
a
saying.
food?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, you ready?
Yeah.
And that's your,
Ice cream
You're
is
just
good
doing
for
it.
me.
No, I just put.
yes, is your.
I was trying to hold it, not doing too good on that one.
Ready, stay strong.
Well,
It's like I'm trying because I wanted to.
Looking for the
Yeah,
truth.
but it's
Well,
definitely
I'm not
weaker.
doing
Is
anything.
that what you're saying?
I'm not
Yeah, well,
suggesting anything. I'm not-
actually, ice cream might be really good for you at certain
This
times.
So
is just.
Well, I think that's why they're
But
still.
right now,
But not right now.
right now,
Now,
Okay, I got
So, you
it.
know.
So that's the truth of my name, somebody else's name, the truth.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Because that one's
Can I
lighter.
test you?
Okay, let's say.
Then
think of
So
food
should I do a name
that
first?
you
have
really
my
like.
hand up.
just, you can just ask her to hold, show her your strength.
Okay, show me your
I
strength.
used less pressure to push it down
And then have her say her name.
Now,
Okay.
when it-
when you first
So
have
tell me your name.
Sandra Lee Talley.
Oh, that's way stronger, okay.
And then,
That makes sense.
Okay, say that again.
Sandra Lee Talley.
okay.
Is that?
Not ours, neither with that, yeah.
Says maybe you
That's
should.
incredible.
I go, okay.
Somebody-
Isn't that wild? It really does.
try the other one,
That
here.
has-
And so does it matter which
Does it
year?
matter?
But it
Okay.
may not be
Okay.
really good.
Say your name.
Okay.
Sandra Lee
And I don't eat them
Yeah.
That's even better.
It is with me.
Yeah.
Now that you found that she's weak, you wanna make sure she's still strong on her strength.
A lot.
Because
So go back to her
because
name.
if you weaken a person, you can actually, well, they can walk away weak.
I don't.
Okay, so I say stay strong, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
just say her name again.
Say your name again, stay strong.
Sandra Lee Talley.
Okay, you got me.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
that's so wild.
My name's incredible.
I'm learning a lot.
Okay, and then switch,
Okay.
find a new person.
All right.
Don't get to everybody.
Can I test you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we need to do.
Oh, I don't.
You already test each other?
No,
No. We know each other very well.
because we do.
Okay, my name is.
We hang out together every day.
Right, so you need to learn how to test yourself.
Exactly,
Which is why I made her
that's the
come to
purpose.
class.
Oh, that's what,
That's right.
Okay, my name is.
I'll go first.
Okay, or you want me to test you?
Yeah, that's cool.
May I test you?
Yes, you may.
Oh, you do it.
Well, I'm doing my right arm because that's
Well, that's
my
really my right arm too. I don't know.
strongest arm.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, is that it?
Is that what?
Oh, stay strong.
Stay strong?
Okay,
Okay.
you ready?
Okay. Okay.
Say your full name.
Judy Sue Franklin.
okay, I have a suggestion. One thing I noticed you're doing is you're saying your name, you do something, and then you're
Well,
going,
that was.
So I'm
you
saying, do
actually,
it while she's
you
saying
actually,
it.
you actually keep separate, and then you're coming into contact.
Okay.
You wanna just hold,
That's what I
and
said.
While she's
then,
saying
and
it.
then,
Okay. Okay.
So that's, it's telling me the truth.
it's almost like this, it's almost like if you hold it, and I come in like this, say, stay strong, and I go, That's almost like,
Okay, oh, so
it's,
just
it's,
like
a,
arrested,
it's, a,
okay,
it's,
so
a,
arrested
it's
on
a bit of a shock to
Okay,
get hit like
okay.
that.
Okay.
So just like hover
Yeah,
there, okay,
yeah.
stay strong.
That's kind of strong. Wait, you
Okay.
have questions?
Well,
You get to your full
it's
name.
kind of strong.
I can't seem to interrupt the circuit, so to speak.
It's hard to, he's strong on his
Now let's
feet.
do a fake name.
He's strong on his feet.
Yeah, there's a very
No,
small
Yeah,
variation.
no,
between strong
because
and
this is what I did with her, so I can see if it does the same thing with you.
noticeable. Some people here are very, very noticeable. It's really easy to test some people.
What is your full
The
name?
thing is that
Opal.
Because it did the aura.
Strong is the one with,
This-
right, strong.
The
because
minimum
that's-
amount of strength I would have to be
That's your thought.
that way.
Right. You know, and then
Pushed
that's why I
down.
said.
So
well, with your elbow bent though,
Because
you're
that's
actually,
what I did with
you're,
her.
you're your body wants to show strength, so you intend to automatically bend your elbow
Yeah,
so you
but if I
can.
kept
Now,
it
what I said
out straight,
was
it
like, is a matter
would be a lot more noticeable.
Well, he's telling you what might be more noticeable, so try it. It doesn't hurt his shoulder.
And then when I did
Just
the Opal,
try it when he's in his strength.
And this is my weakest arm.
okay.
As long as it's not gonna hurt you.
if you learn what
Just
your
say,
body says.
hold strong.
Yes or no.
Yeah.
You might get closer so you can.
That's right, I don't need to see my arms.
I
I
don't
don't.
do that. I can do the.
Well, that made a move to
A
punch
little
with
bit
that.
more.
Whatever that body fits.
And that's what I get.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that more so
And then
that
try again.
I don't know why. I guess because
Well,
I'm used to it.
well, when you get to where you really do
Oh, yeah.
feel like you know,
Okay,
then it's fine.
that's good to know.
That helps you.
I
Yeah.
haven't had that experience
No,
before.
Try it again, try that a couple times, and maybe even ask him a couple questions or
Try your
something.
right
That is
See
my
how that goes.
Right.
Okay.
All right,
Do his name again, you wanna see strength again.
yeah. State your name.
Say your whole
My
name.
name is John Eddie.
What is your full name?
My name is Beth.
Well, that made it, yeah, you were solid before, say your whole name.
My whole name is John Eddieman.
See, I
So
don't
I'm
know
starting to
whether.
get, now I can start.
Starting to get sore, okay.
Yeah.
So now, so that was his
You know what
strong.
I'm saying?
So then ask him a question.
Yeah.
Say my name is Stephen or something.
Okay.
Yeah, your name is Stephen.
And you
That's
should,
my
My name is Stephen.
Okay.
you should do past the number.
Yeah,
Right.
kind of.
Could you feel it?
Yeah.
No, you can't, but I can.
You can really
I
feel
can
it starts
actually
to
feel the
hurt.
difference.
It starts to hurt real fast sometimes when it's a weakness. But if you went back to strong, that might go,
Yeah.
see if it goes away. Ask him a question, a couple questions, and
Yeah.
he knows the answer is,
That's what she was saying, 'cause she.
oh, now you turned your arm though.
She said
You-
that she-
you-
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, go back to the strong side.
And I gotta get.
No,
closer.
I mean, do it the way you're doing it, but ask him questions that you would be strong in the answer. It's like, ask your name again.
She's holding
Oh,
her banana.
so she was
You were born in this country.
with somebody
No.
at the
Yeah,
store.
has the banana in her hand, 'cause it's
She
not,
was
but she
on.
said, but he just said, don't
Or
ask.
so say I was born in a,
That's part of.
Yeah, tell me where you were
Seemed like this banana.
I was born in Australia.
Because all of a sudden, if your arm
so
goes
that's a strong
down,
answer.
Yeah.
then you know.
Did that one hurt?
Not good for you.
So you
Oh, no.
see the difference?
Well, there's a twinge there, but I think that's because of
Food's real fast.
the continuous pressure that was on it the first time. But
But
yeah.
still it's sort of, okay.
Okay. There's a lot.
So it's not always, I guess,
I don't
that
know.
way. If you turn
You're
it,
making a step.
that's it.
My head.
Yeah, there's other muscles that are a lot easier to
See,
show.
but it's
It's
really not about
awkward
me, it's about you.
to just
So like we
say,
can, so we
yeah,
can.
lay down
You
or
know how you
something.
try mine, right? Well, because I turned it.
No.
It's stronger.
Okay.
It's just
Dad, I
testing
got a-
it.
Dad, I got a
It's
question.
weaker.
Where-
Yeah, because you're
He's so
not,
strong that,
you're not pushing against all
Well,
three
well, you're
shoulder
only
muscles.
testing the front part of the muscle instead of all three.
And I can see
When you do
that.
that,
Oh, I
yeah.
can see that.
So you
being-
could do
When
it
you
just
do
by
what?
holding your hand in this position too,
Yeah,
though.
that way.
Okay, so you can do, okay.
Yeah, you're actually getting
okay,
different
you
parts
can
of the
test
muscle.
me, it'll be all different.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you.
Does that make a difference if you're holding palm up?
You can also do it out here like this, and you're getting more in the
Yes.
front part when you hold it like this. So
When you
can-
hold it
can-
more?
So you can hold your arm out here, hold
Now-
your arm straight through like this, hold it strong,
Sandra Lee
hold
Taylor.
strong,
Okay.
hold strong.
Okay,
Okay, ready to see it?
My name is Jenny.
Sandra Lee Taylor.
Say your name
My name
is
is,
Susan.
yeah, my name is.
See how easy I am to interrupt, yeah.
That went week before I even first on it.
Something like.
So the difference with you saying your name, your real name, and not, and saying a different name, that's just
You know what I mean? Like I
the
wanna
test
go
for
how
That's
the
to
just
truth.
to test for,
You see
are
what
you
I'm saying?
testing
Like,
correctly, the
ask me a
same as
question.
See,
doing
I'd be asking a
this.
question, should I go outside?
Okay,
But
and
you
then
said, should I
this
go
is
outside?
the
He's
Say
saying
this,
just do
this,
that,
Okay,
because it's sort of, no, that's not
It would
true.
be,
Okay.
And
just
so
go out
that
tonight.
will
You know
quickly
what I mean?
show. Then you can ask any question at all, like, you should go to bed earlier tonight.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
whatever. I should go to bed earlier tonight, you know, or I
That's
should go to
been
bed by midnight,
changing
whatever.
it, changing the job.
So your
I
body
need more
already
sleep.
knows.
Well, I have enough sleep.
Would it be beneficial for you
Okay,
to
so.
change?
And you should always test past this when the tester should go here,
Yeah.
press down, or it doesn't matter.
Well, you don't wanna go on a joint. You
It would
wanna
be to my advantage.
So a little bit
go
fast.
I'm learning a lot
as far
from
from
that.
the joint you're testing as you
Really a
can
lot that I
go,
didn't know.
whereas out here is,
Well, that was way stronger than
The new muscle test.
Oh, yeah, that's not,
you
so
wanna go
here.
here, not on the joint.
No,
You wouldn't wanna
when I
touch
sit
it.
by
just
the
here.
turn that over, I just
Okay, so pass the
know that
joint
my
there.
strength is that way.
Cause you lift weights?
I used to.
Have you
But I used to
tested
do it while
John?
swimming.
I've tested
Oh,
him.
there's a little bit of a
And
warning testing.
I haven't tested
Okay.
those two.
Okay, so this is, so let's say.
Uh,
Okay.